We have got the one and only Mitchell Tenpenny.
What's up?
On Pure Country. Good to see you.
You too. It's always great to see you. Sorry.
And I'm so glad you're in Canada. Normally we catch up in Nashville, but we get you back in Canada.
I love being up here.
Which you're pretty much half Canadian.
Honorary.
Yeah.
But I've been quizzed today on some
Canadian
geography and have been terrible. So I might have lost some of it.
You're like, I'm texting Meg after this to be like, give me some
give me a map.
tips. Come on.
Yeah.
But you guys are out on the Damn Good Time World Tour.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when you guys did that tour promo video. I'm assuming you watched that 70s show growing up.
One of my favorate shows
Okay.
ever. Yeah.
Who would you be in that 70s show? What character?
I'm a little bit Eric.
Okay.
Where I like wanted to play by the rules, but every now and then I would go, want to go off script a little bit. And I love Kelso's character as well, but I'm not quite as dumb as
I was gonna say, I don't know if you're there quite.
Thank you.
I love that. So you just put out a very big record. Very big record. Lots of music. The third. Talk to me about putting this out, because I know you are not just an artist, but you are someone who writes for other artists. You're an incredible songwriter. It's always a lot of labor of love that goes into putting out an album.
Yeah, and it's just wild figuring out what songs to put on it, especially like in this day and time, the way we consume music. Last record I did 20 songs. This record I planned on doing like 15, but I just kept having songs. I was like, I got to put this on.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing 20 as well, and I don't know, it's just so awesome to have the opportunity to do 3 records. Like, I don't take that for granted, and hopefully I've learned a lot of lessons and matured a little bit in these songs, and like I just want to tell stories that I've lived through, and some I just completely made up. Like there's a song called "Make It Rain" that I was watching a lot of Ocean's 11 and Batman and like the bank robbery scene, and I was just like, I'm just gonna make up a story and just have fun with it. And I haven't really done that on any record, so it's kind of fun to just explore some new things as well. And then obviously naming it the third. My name's James Mitchell Tenpenny the third. I got it from my dad, and my granddad, and unfortunately they're not here with us, so I wanted to pay homage to them, and it being the third record, it just all kind of worked out.
I love that. I saw when you posted Not Today, that is just the title of it made me, because I know what a great writer you are, so I instantly went to listen to it. And I loved it, but then I saw you post the video where you said you rewrote it like almost 10 times.
Yeah.
Tell us about the story of that song and how it finally came to be released.
I mean, the story, that's how songs are sometimes. They're not always like, I wrote that in college in a ballad version, and I put it on a record called Black Crow that I put out before I was ever signed. And so I never nailed it for me. I love that song and how we did it, but it was just a different vibe. And what the word "not today" has come to mean to me over the years is something different. I disguised this song. I wanted it more up-tempo, so I made it more up-tempo, but I disguised the song around a breakup song because I love doing breakup songs. But
yeah, you're very good at it.
Well,
even though you're
I'm very happily married. Yeah, people ask all the time, like, no, we're good. I love things that make you feel, but it's a bigger picture. It's more about, owning and wearing hurt, trauma, pain. As I get older and, I've lost people in my life and just, things that happen in life growing up. I think acknowledging is part of healing. And so the song's also about, saying, hey, I know I'm going to get through this, but not today.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to wallow in it. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to own it. And I think that's important, especially in the healing process. Like I said, in the video, I'm in an electric chair. And so I kind of like, again, it's about a breakup, but the whole point is, and I wanted it to be kind of scary. When we were doing it, like actually filming it, when we got to the point, like on paper it looks cool, but like it was real. It felt like, I don't know, there was a lot of emotions going on in there.
Yeah.
But the point that you have your own control, like how much electricity are you putting in here? How much are you going to hurt yourself? What are you doing here? Like you're in control to pull back. And so we kind of hit a bunch of those little secrets in there to make it the bigger picture that I wanted it to be.
Did you come up with that treatment for the video? Because when I watched it, I was like, I love this song already, but it was very interesting take. Made you really think when you
I had a lot of help. Jeff was incredible at trying to understand my vision. It's so hard. I always get looked at with that weird eye when I try to talk about what I want in videos.
Yeah.
So you need somebody quirky to understand you. And Jeff Johnson's incredible. And
I love Jeff. He's the best.
And so he understood the assignment.
Yeah. When you have an overly creative brain, it's like really hard.
It's hard to put it down in like management. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just let me explain it.
You're like, I want an electric chair.
Yeah. And so he came up with that concept when we talked a bunch back and forth, and yeah, man, it was one of my favorite videos, and I love the meaning behind it.
Yeah, it's so good. And you and Jordan, I just spoke to him, and he said that you guys have been trying to make a tour happen for so long.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Right after COVID, we and him, when shows weren't happening, we were just like, we got to play. We're itching. So we rented a van again, got back in a van, me and him, and went and played some acoustic shows and had the time of our lives.
Oh, nice.
And we were talking the whole time on there, like, man, one day we need to do like a real one. And it finally came to fruition.
Here you are. Yeah. And he said that you guys, like, you know, which you hear a lot of people say this, like, oh, we're a touring family and whatnot. But he said, like, you guys really are, and that you guys are all hanging out behind closed doors and on days off. So you did have a day off yesterday before the show. What did you guys get up to? Heard you were at the bar.
Yeah, I went to some bars. I was just a tourist yesterday. I enjoyed it. Went to the Blue Jays, grabbed a jersey and a hat. Nice. Did the CN Tower again. I haven't done that since like 2008. When I was 18 and we drove up here so we could drink beer, because in the States it's 21.
Yeah.
So did that. Went to a restaurant called Jeffrey's. I don't know if anybody knows where that is.
Yes, I do.
It's actually really good.
Really good.
Met the chef. His name's Jeffrey. Get the play on words. He was really good. Shout out. Went back to the butt. Like, we're all in a big parking lot, just kind of hanging out, like built a little fire. Yeah, honestly. And watched some football. So it was a good day. The weather was perfect. And I love Toronto, walking around the city.
So cool. Okay, last thing before we go, because I need to get the scoop on this. So I watched your episode on the Brothers Hunt podcast, which I love those guys. And they are hilarious. Awesome. So I wanted to talk about the incident where you got kicked out of a flag football league.
Yeah.
And so when they were talking about how competitive you are in it, I just thought, with you and Megan, for those of you who don't know, he is hubby of Megan Patrick. She's probably one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
My better half, definitely. She is. That's the one thing we're both so stubborn and competitive, especially Bills versus Titans, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but you love each other even despite the difference.
Oh, of course. That's what I love about her. I mean, I love that she's uniquely her, and she's passionate, and it's frustrating sometimes. It's no doubt. I'm sure it's vice versa, but Reed, I was in flag football, and this guy he's awesome now. He's an incredible artist, but also an incredible songwriter. But he was the referee in our flag football stuff, and I don't know. I got in an argument with him because he made a bad call. I didn't know him at all. He kicked me out of the league. Like a week later, we're going into our first classes, and it's songwriting class. I'm in class, and I'm sitting down, and in comes the guy that kicks me out. And I'm like, oh my God. And this is a small class, like 12 people. I'm like, oh, this guy's going to be in the class? Anyway, we become great friends. He's an incredible. He plays the first chord, and we squashed all that immediately. But I never brought that up to him until then. Because I was just like, it doesn't matter.
He did not remember. He was like, are you sure that was me?
That is hilarious. Yes.
It was awesome. Who's more competitive, do you think, you or Meg?
I think it depends on what it is. I mean, in all generality, I guess. Is that a word? I don't even think so.
It's a word today.
I was like, what did I just say? I would say me, but like if you tell Megan that I'm more competitive, then I think she's going to.
I was going to say, I think right now she's probably going to be like, I'm definitely more competitive.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. Well, okay.
She doesn't let me have anything. I'll say that.
Yeah, she's a strong woman. But you know what? You need one of those in your life.
Amen.
And I feel like it's so cool to watch you guys both chasing your dreams, generally in opposite parts of the world or the countries. But how cool is it to just watch her getting the recognition we all know she so deserves?
Man, it's been tough. It's been a tough few years. And, she coming from Canada and doing so well, then coming to the States and just knowing how talented she is and just needing the world to see that. We've had some hard talks, man. I just said, just keep doing what you're doing. And finally, the world is saying how great that is. I couldn't be more proud. Makes me emotional talking about it because I've seen her. I've seen her go through, and she's killing it. I'm so proud of her. And the world is going to see how badass she is. So
that's right. She was my first ever interview in my entire life.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow.
I went axe throwing with her.
That's amazing.
Which is kind of a scary thing to do with Megan. I was like,
competition.
Okay.
She might throw one into me. So
I was like, watch out. Well, make sure you guys go check out Mitchell Tenpenny's album, The Third. Thank you so much for joining us on Pure Country.